Welcome to the Collector Cave, and today we have a review of Mezco Toyz 1/12 Collective Spider-Man Across the Universe. Of course, this is Miles Morales, based off of the second animated Spider-Verse movie that came out, a year or two ago? And pretty excited for this. I don't own a Miles Morales figure outside of a Hot Toys one, so I missed the first one that Mezco did, I think maybe a couple years ago. I believe they did one. But this looks really cool. The packaging looks great. Very stylized, just like the movie is. There's the side of the box, and then here's the back and everything he comes with. Looks like he's got 5 different head portraits. I love when Mezco gives extra portraits. And he even comes with a little comic book, so that's pretty cool. And then there's some blogger shots of the figure. So yeah, pretty cool to have this. I just got it through Mezco, came in the other day. So let's get this guy unboxed and take a look at it in better detail. Okay, and every Mezco figure comes with this 1/12 collective product care guidelines. Just talks about how to be careful with your figure not to damage it, and that these are for years 18 years and older. So they're not for children. And then there's just little directions here on how to plug in the webs with the wrist, like most standard Spider-Man figures. And then there's an extra piece that goes on the flight rod for the spider sense effect. So pretty cool. So here's Miles and everything he comes with. I was wrong, it's 4 head sculpts, not 5. Typically with the deluxe version, you'll get 5 or 6. This is not considered deluxe. But yeah, pretty cool. He still comes with a lot of stuff. I mean, if you've gotten a Spider-Man figure from Mezco, this is kind of standard fare. You get a bunch of webs, a bunch of hands, and a few other extras. So the webbing, for the most part, this one's been used. If you have Spidey, these are bendable. So you can like wrap this around someone, like he's got someone captive. That's a cool one, but it's been reused. These ones I've never seen before, but I don't own the other Miles figures, so maybe these came with the original Miles, I'm not sure. These are not bendy, so be careful with these so you don't break them. And then you get 2 of them. They're a little different, but very, very similar. And then you get these ones, which also look really cool. Like this guy right here, that's pretty neat. So I think these are different, at least from the normal Spider-Man figures I've gotten from Mezco. And then, of course, you get the cool-looking base. I got to say, Mezco is probably one of the best at doing display bases. If you buy anything from overseas, like Asian base, typically those displays are very, very dull, basic. But between Hot Toys and Mezco, you get some nice bases. And this feels nice. It's a nice material. And then, of course, there's your flight rod, which would be great for a Spidey figure. And then this is the one that goes on top of that for the Spidey effect piece, the spider sense. And then, of course, your bag. If you don't want to keep the box, you can put all this stuff in this bag. I think it'll fit. Not sure if the webs will fit in there, but that's the idea with that bag there. And then there's a bunch of hands, and I love how Mezco gives the hands in its own little thing. I don't got to take them all out for a review. As you can see, different style hands there. Wall crawling, web thwipping, you name it. And then here is the comic, which unfortunately doesn't open up. It's hard plastic, and it's actually the cover of what the box art looks like. No, it's not. It's an alternate view of the box art on the front. I can't read what that says, but it says, "Now what?" And if I flip it over, check this out. It's the back of the Mezco box showing all that he comes with. I think it's hilarious they did that as the back. That's pretty cool. And then there is the effect piece. And the blue or the green and red kind of goes with the motif, the stylized motif you had in the show, right? And then lastly but not least, here's your head sculpts. That Miles head sculpt on the right looks fantastic. And you get 2 more. And then here is the figure itself. And I think this might be a new body. As I said, I don't have the other Miles figures. I think there was maybe 1, maybe 2. I'm not sure. But I think this is a new body. It's super light. It looks just like Miles from the game. You know, he's got that lanky body. And it looks fantastic. The material, if I can zoom in even more, it's fabric, but then it has, like typical Mezco, it's got printed on plastic, pieces, which I know people worry about that. I'll say for me, I've been collecting Mezco since 2018, and I've never had anything, break down on me personally. But I don't play with my figures a lot either, so maybe that's why I kind of get them in a pose and I'll leave it for a while. I'll change the pose, maybe some toy photography, that's it. But I'm not too worried about this suit, to be honest, because I've never had any problems. But if you live in a really humid environment or maybe really dry environment, both those can be enemies to material like this, so just keep that in mind. The head and the neck is plastic. There's no fabric there, but I love that head sculpt. But the eyes look great. Super cool head sculpt. And then of course the chest emblem looks really good. And on the back you got that one. Yeah, fantastic looking figure. Now let's go over articulation. I was hoping for a bit more, considering I think this is a new body. Maybe someone in the comments can correct me if I'm wrong, but I expected a bit more. It's not terrible for a fabric covered figure, but we'll go over it. So head and neck both have their own ball joint, so you get more mobility, so you can look down pretty good. He doesn't look up as good as I'd hope. Yeah, it catches right there. That's as far as he can look up, which is not good at all, honestly. Of course, he can do all sorts of inquisitive looks and everything. Arms go up over 90, which is great. It's not a butterfly, though. Well, maybe it is. I think it might be a butterfly. Yeah. And then there is a bicep swivel. It's way up high, right by the shoulder. And then double jointed elbows. And, of course, ball hinge wrist pegs, which Mezco uses in all their figures. And then the torso is the issue I have. It goes forward pretty good. There's an upper torso ball joint and a lower torso. So you get good bend that way. But going back, I think I expected more out of going back. And that's all he gets. So I think because the body comes down over the ball joint, the lower part, so you don't get a whole lot of range. So getting him like flying through the air like this, sure, I can get him doing stuff like this. But he can't arch back as much as I was hoping for, right? I mean, still looks good. And then the legs, you can twist the torso, of course, and all that kind of stuff with the torso. The legs do go 90, not really over, and then double jointed knees. There is no thigh cut. There is a swivel at the I'm assuming it's a ball peg hip joint, a little bit of a swivel. So, and then the feet, the feet do have good mobility. I'm sorry, this is all fuzzy. The feet do have good range. Unlike most Mezco feet, I've always had problems with their feet. This goes up really good, as you can see. It goes down really good, and it has a good rocker, which is important for Spidey, right? So let's go ahead and change out a couple of these head sculpts real quick. And this is probably my least favorite one. We'll put this one on next. This is my least favorite, but it's still cool. It's like he's like thinking hard, or like he's like angry a little bit. And then this one, which I think turned out fantastic with the open mouth. Yeah, check that out, man. Check that out. Let me zoom in even closer. Really cool. Got his teeth painted. Yeah, that's an awesome sculpt. I love that Mezco gives multiple head sculpts. To me, it's a big deal. It's just something I really enjoy. And while I usually settle on one as my favorite preferred, I like the idea that I can have an option. And then here is the Miles Morales sculpt. His neck is long, but I think that's in line with how he looked in the movie. Again, he's super lanky, right? Out of proportion because it's a comic, and that's fine. It fits Miles. He's a teenager, still growing into his body. So the fact that his body looks a little off is perfect. So, but look at that head sculpt. That's really good. They hit that one out of the park. Great job, Mezco. Yeah, really awesome. So let's try and do a couple poses now and see what we can get. All right, and there's Miles on the flight stand with the spider sense tingling behind him, shooting out some webs, and that's pretty cool. He's so thin, or he's so lanky that the clip has a hard time holding him because he's just so skinny. So it kind of goes up to his mid-torso. But I do like this web effect. The 3 webs being shot out, it looks really cool. And then of course, the spider sense, looks really neat behind him. So for toy photography, you can get some pretty cool pictures, going with something like this. Zoom in a little bit and check it out. Yeah, awesome stuff. All right, and here's Miles on the turntable. He's super excited, giving a thumbs up. He's got his own comic book that someone's written about him, and he is ecstatic because he's a huge geek, and that is super cool. So you can definitely do a lot of play options with this figure. That's not actually a thumbs up. It's supposed to be holding a web, but as you can see, you can make it a thumbs up. And then he's got his comic in his hand. So yeah, I love this head sculpt. I think it looks really good. Really, really cool. Let's do some comparisons. Okay, and here's Miles next to some of the more recent Mezco Spider family releases. On the left, we got Spider-Gwen, or Ghost Spider, as Mezco called it. And then on the right, we have the classic Spidey that came out, I think, last year. So yeah, Miles is the tallest out of the 3. I'm not sure how accurate that is, considered with Peter being older, but I don't know. But anyways, they still look good. And of course, this Spider-Gwen, I don't think that's not based off of Into the Spider-Verse or Across the Spider-Verse. It was just their version. I don't know if we got a Gwen Stacy coming from Across the Spider-Verse from Mezco. I can't remember. I don't think so as of right now. But yeah, these look great. That Gwen Stacy one's got a new female body with the metal armature. This one's not a metal armature. I was wondering maybe it would be the same as like this body. Well, not the same, but like since they redid the female body, if they would redo maybe a 2.0 of this Miles body. But it's not. It's just a normal body, no metal involved, no silicone. At least as far as I know. I haven't taken the suit off, but I can tell it's just a plastic body. But still, these look really cool together. Let's do a couple more comparisons. Okay, and here's a couple of Hasbro Legends figures. Secret Wars Captain America and Secret Wars Iron Man. And typically Mezco figures run a bit big on 1/12 scale, so they're usually a little bit bigger than Marvel Legends figures. But because Miles is still like a teenager, I think these actually scale really well together. That's probably accurate, as big as Cap is. If you have Marvel Legends figures you want to take pictures with this Miles, I think it works fantastic. And then I'd be remiss if I didn't show off a couple villains for size comparisons. On the left, you have Mezco Doctor Doom, which, that scales perfectly. They're both the same make in Mezco. And on the right, you have Hasbro Legends King that came out last year. Classic looking King, which I think still works. Maybe King's a bit small compared to Miles, but I think it still works. So yeah, really cool. Let's wrap this up. So at the end of the day, is this Miles Morales figure from Across the Spider-Verse worth it? Well, it's $85, which when I got into Mezco, like I said, 2018, most of the standard figures were $80. So you figure over the course of 7 years, this has only gone up $5. It's not bad compared to other companies. You look at Mafex, they've really risen their prices up. So I think $85 for what you get, a bunch of accessories, 4 head sculpts is a good deal. I guess the question is, do you like Miles Morales? That's probably the key. If you like Miles, if you like Mezco, if you love Across the Spider-Verse, then to me this is a no-brainer at that cost. Now, I will say I got mine from Mezco's site, and it just showed up 2 days ago as the recording of this video, and it's on waitlist on Mezco's site. But as a recording of this video, you can get it off the Big Bad Toy Store. It's still available for pre-order, showing a March release, which, again, that's right now, March 2025. So yeah, there's still an ability to get this guy. But let me know what you guys think. We're waiting for the 3rd movie. I think it was delayed because of the writer's strike a year or so ago. But I'm looking forward to the third one. The first two were fantastic. A lot of people like them as their most favorite comic movie. So they're really popular. And Spidey as a whole, whether it be Peter or Miles, is very popular. So I expect this figure to probably sell out eventually because of how popular they are. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Do you have your figure yet? Do you have this one? Do you want it? What did you think of Across the Spider-Verse? And what do you think of the next movie coming out? I forget what the date is. It got pushed back, but I know it's coming soon. So looking forward to that, maybe wrapping up that third movie from that trilogy. And anyways, let me know what you guys think. Give a like, comment, subscribe. I always love talking about stuff like this. And until next time, this has been Mezco Toyz 1/12 Collective, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, Miles Morales. Thanks for watching.